Hey everyone, Kaiser Soze here, Maximum Carnage. Today I'm going to be going over a bit on war strategy, generally why we do what we do, and the importance of having everybody try to follow along. Alright, so we are at war today versus Spartacus, and it doesn't necessarily change our war attack strategy. We always tweak things or make a few suggestions about how low people should go as a starting point. But I just wanted to talk about the general and overall strategy that we use. So you can see here that I'm number 1, Run is number 2, Chaser's number 3, just as a starting point. If we move over to the enemy clan, we could simply say, let's have everyone attack 10 below their equal. So I would then take 11. Run can take 12, Chaser can take 13. And by dropping down to 11, if we take a look at this base, it's a Town Hall 8. Certainly I should be able to crush it. Short of a timeout or anything else, it would be a simple 3-star. And Run would have number 12, another simple 3-star. Chaser would have 13, easily a 3-star. And we just kind of work our way through the bottom 10. So 11 to 20 would be destroyed with 10 attacks. And what would that leave us with? It would leave us with 10 attacks at the top, 20 attacks at the bottom. So we would have 30 attacks remaining and only 10 bases to worry about. Now, because most of the upper levels here are the highest Town Hall 10s and Town Hall 9s, if we were to look at our bottom half, which still has 2 attacks each, and this is from row heat down, we would say 1 Town Hall 8 and the rest Town Hall 7s or lower would have 2 attacks. And they could attack both times up against the Town Hall 9s and still have very little chance at a 3-star. So although it's good to say we have 30 attacks left at that point, we would effectively have our top 10 clearing the bottom 10, and then our top 10 having 1 attack each to be able to clear out the top bases. Because of that, failed attacks on their higher level bases, if it takes 1 or 2 tries to be able to legitimately have a chance, learn something, scout, find out where Teslas are, bombs are, all that stuff, a first attack 3-star on a higher level base is always more difficult than after you've hit it once or twice and understand what has worked and not worked. So what we do in war is we try hard not to assign targets, because people may have specific strengths and weaknesses that allow them to be able to better attack certain types of bases. Just as an example here, for instance, I will call up Ronan's account. Ronan is a strong, middle of the pack Town Hall 9 in terms of where he sits defensively. If we take a look at his profile, you can see he's got 499 war stars, but he does not have the Dark Barracks opened to the highest level to be able to have witches or Lava Hounds unlocked. So he's intentionally done that to be able to make sure that he's got really strong attacks at his own level before he unlocks new attacks. You don't want to be a jack of no trades, and you don't necessarily want to be a jack of all trades. You want to have 1 or 2 really solid good attack strategies that you can use on different base layouts. And then you want to add other strong attack strategies as you move forward. There is very little sense in trying to unlock everything at the lowest level and say, I've got all different options, none of them good to be able to attack bases. But where this leaves Ronan is in a position where if a base is really suited to a strong air attack, he just doesn't have the troops. So if we look at where he's established right now in our war, we could say, well, he's number 6. But there may be bases around him at the 4 and 5 or 3 level or even higher that may be really suited to troops that he has. There may be other bases that are just simply less suited, more suited to an air attack, and he might not have it. So what he's going to do is he wants to be able to scout and give himself the best possible chance at getting a 3-star. And why does he want to do that? Well, he wants to attack a base that he's got a legitimate shot at 3-starring, and if he can't do it, at least reveal many of the traps to be able to give other people in our top 10 an opportunity to 3-star it afterwards. Now, how do we end up with most of the attacks left on top instead of the bottom? In the first scenario, if we all drop 10 below, we would have 30 attacks left. Now, we can now translate that to if everybody dropped 3 below, what would happen is we would have the top 3 bases of the enemy potentially still in play with no attacks and no stars on them. And then we would have our best 3 players with only 3 attacks to be able to get that. And in every case, whether or not we drop down 1, we drop down 2, we drop down 5, or drop down 10, using that strategy and having that mentality of mirrored attacks, or 1 below equal to start, is always bad, because it doesn't give our best and top players the opportunity to do what's best when it comes to attacking a base that utilizes their strengths, nor does it allow for multiple attacks in many cases on those highest level bases. So what we do is just simply request people to evaluate their own strengths and weaknesses, to make sure that they get 3 stars on their first attacks when they're low down. And by doing that, every time we get a 3-star down below on a first attack, it means somebody within our top 10 doesn't have to drop down unnecessarily to be able to clean up those attacks. So the more people that can get 3 stars on their first attack towards the bottom half opens up many, many, many more options on the top. And what we'd like to do is get into a scenario where the bottom half 3 stars all of their options. Maybe it means that instead of cutting it right in half, maybe it's the bottom 10, they drop, they 3-star everyone they can, and maybe there's 3 or 4 that they cannot 3-star in the bottom end. Well, that means 3 or 4 out of our 20 top end attacks need to drop and do some cleaning. And that would mean of our 20 attacks, we're going to be left with 17, 16 attacks to be able to go after the 10 bases. And that's the type of thing that wins wars, for sure. The last thing I would just want to touch upon within the same realm is the importance of utilizing both attacks in every single war. So we could see, I'm just going to go into the map of our last war here, the war events, and we'll hit my team. There was a couple of people who did not utilize both attacks, and we go down through that. If we look, though, in this first column, we could see at the low end they had some problems getting some 3 stars. For my name is Ian, Grimstalker, Oish. They did not get 3 stars on their first attacks. Neither did Dodo, who attacked number 1 because he was late. Clank did, though, Clancaster. And then as we move up, we can see that the 3 stars there were more and more opportunities for people to be able to 3-star here and be able to do well down low. And having our top, if we look at our 10, say from Jim is my name, all the way down, we can see the number of 3-star attacks that exist between the 1s and 2s all the way through. And what that ends up doing is allowing more of our top end to be able to have other attacks. Now, if we were to have people who do not use both attacks, who simply say, oh, it's later on in the war, I see all of the top or the bottom 10 has been cleared, I'm at the number 15 spot, I have left a town hall, I'm only left with town hall 9s to attack and I don't have any chances, so I'm not going to attack. The problem is, with that mentality, that in clan after clan, you have a whole bunch of low-end people who end up being selfish, and they wait for other people to attack in the hopes that the war is won early. Then all of the people around them can be cleared, and they can look for trying to simply win a battle and gain more loot. Or they say, well, war is won, I don't have a chance at a star, I'm not going to spend the elixir, because if I spend that elixir, I'm not going to get anything in return. To this I say, wars are for winning, raiding is for loot. If you want to be in war with us, it's all about winning the war. And every single person, the cost of being in war is the cost of full elixir for 2 full troop loadouts in war. How you spend it is up to you. You can decide to attack early, and you can decide to attack low and have more options. The longer people wait in war, the fewer options they have. Sometimes that works out, and sometimes it doesn't. It's the larger the risk, or the larger the reward, potentially the larger the risk. If people want to, be successful, attacking early and attacking low are going to pay out the most for them over a period of time by getting those 3 stars. In the end, we are going to simply win more wars. If we win 50% of our wars, that means loot is only realized anyway half the time. If we win a higher percentage of the wars that we enter, then naturally people are going to share in loot a much, much higher percentage of the time. And by doing that, it means that everybody wins more, even if they have to take a little bit less loot, even if that means that sometimes you have to attack a base where the whole purpose is simply revealing some traps or trying to draw out the clan castle to help your clan to be able to win the war at the higher level. If you find yourself stuck and you're always the person who is attacking last and always the person having no options in war, that really just says something about your own style of attacking, and you really need to look at yourself and say, I have to start attacking earlier because I need more options. Generally speaking, if we do well in the bottom half, there should be a couple of people who are kind of left with no options, and that's just the way it's going to work. But a Town Hall 6 can at least get a star, a single star, on a Town Hall 7. A Town Hall 7 can get a star easily on a Town Hall 8. And the same thing with a Town Hall 8 can get 1 star on a Town Hall 9. So the only problem that people are left with no opportunity for success begins when not only their equals, that equal town hall level, but all the town halls below and all the town hall levels 1 above have been taken. And if you're left in that scenario where if you're a town hall 7, where all the town hall 5s, all the town hall 6s, all the town hall 7s, and all the town hall 8s have been cleared, that's a strong indicator that you've probably waited too long to be able to attack. And the cost of being in war, you simply have to make all those troops anyway, give it your best chance, and try to reveal some traps of the clan castle for those above. And what will happen is everyone kind of takes that in turn. As you take an average, everybody's going to be faced with that scenario every few wars, but overall we're going to win more wars, and overall everybody gets more loot. The opposite is we reward those who wait by saying you can just simply go for loot, and what happens is more than half of all the people at the low end will simply wait. And we just can't have that to be able to win the war. It's not good for everyone who pays the cost of entry into the war. And it's certainly not good for those people who try to make the effort to go for 3 stars and do that. So we can't reward those who wait. People make decisions. We don't require them to go in the first hour of war, in the first 10 minutes of war. You make your own decisions. And if it's better for everybody in the long run, that's fine. And if you end up waiting too long and have to attack a base with full troops and spend that elixir, well, that's just the way it is. The penalty for not using both attacks is simply not being in the clan with us, because it is imperative that everyone tries to do what they can to win the war. All right. Ask me any questions about that in normal chat, and we'll refer to this video from time to time as people enter and join the clan. All right. Kaiser Soze, Maximum Carnage. More to follow.